Hi, I'm Laura Staley, and I'm back with another video on how to use Excel. Today, I want to talk about formatting numbers because that is something that it is not real hard, but there are certain things you need to understand in order to make it work for you. So let's get started. Now, I just have a blank spreadsheet in front of me, and so I'm just going to do some things here and then we'll move on. So when you are typing in a number, you just basically click on a cell and type in the number and then hit enter. When you hit enter, it automatically aligns the number to the right, and that is telling you that Excel sees it as a number. Now, a lot of what you do in Excel with numbers is you type in a number and then you format it. So we're going to go over some of those things and some of the options that you have. But there are some things that you can type in right up front that will help Excel not only see it as a number, but what type of number. So for example, sometimes you type in revenue numbers, numbers that have dollar signs attached. So I could type in $5 and hit enter, and then it will automatically align that to the right as well. Now notice up here, when I typed in the 5, up here on the ribbon in the number section, it says general. And what that means is it just sees it as a plain old number with nothing unique about it, or nothing special, nothing to note. So when I typed in the dollar sign, notice that it assigned a currency format to it. And we'll talk about some of the options with that later on. Another option is to type in 50%, include the percent sign, hit enter. Notice it automatically aligns it to the right, and it has the format attached to it. Okay, makes sense so far? Okay, that's not real hard. So let's say that I wanted to just type in a 5 though, and then format it. One of the things I can do is come up here to this number area. And if I say, oh, that's $5, I could hit the dollar sign and it will automatically format it. Now notice when I do that, it assigns the accounting number format to it. Why doesn't it assign the currency? I don't know. Microsoft decided that's what it should be. And so anyway, let's say that I decide that, yeah, I want that to be 5, but I'm talking about pounds or the euro or Canadian dollars or the peso or some other currency other than US dollars. That's what it assumes. Notice that I can click on the down arrow here, and there are a few different options. I can also go up here to the down arrow with the number formatting drop box, click on it, and in this case, I can either keep it accounting or I'm going to change it to currency. And then I have some options here as well. Now, if I want a lot of control over a number that I type in, I'm going to type in 10, hit enter, and then go back and click on it so that I have that cell chosen. I'm going to come down here to the ribbon to the expander box. And what this is going to do is launch this dialog box. It's going to give me all of my options for formatting numbers that I might want. So for example, I could click here and say, you know what, I want it to be just a general number format, but I want it to have 2 decimal places. And if I enter a negative, this is how I want it to be handled. Now, most of the time, people don't have negative numbers. Now, if I did my budget some months, some of those categories would go negative because I spent too much money. And I'm recording this right after Black Friday, so that's an issue that could come up. But if I do this and then click OK, notice that it applies the format that I asked it to. Or I can type in a number and come in here and I have currency options. Whatever category you're clicked on the left-hand side is going to show you the options over here in the main part of the dialog box. That's what this box is called. So I could come here and there are so many currencies listed in here. You can probably find whatever currency you want to use in here. And so I could say, I'm just going to leave it at the $sign. And I'm going to say, let's make it 1 decimal place. Actually, that makes no sense with currency. So I'm going to leave it at 2. And here's how I want to treat negative numbers. Accounting has much the same type of options, except that apparently they don't have negative numbers. There are percentages. So I could say, let's make this a percentage, and I want 2 decimal places, or I want 1 decimal place. So I click OK, and there it is. Now notice with percentage, I had 5, so that turns into 500%. If I wanted 50%, I would have had to type in 0.5, and that would have made it 50%. Okay, is that making sense so far? I hope so. So let's talk about something that is a little bit more problematic, and that is dates. So I can type in, let's see, today is December 3rd, 2019, hit enter, and there is my date format. Okay, so if I want other options, I can come in here and go to date, and I have many different options in here that it will automatically format what I typed in as that date. Okay, so one of the things to realize is that dates are numbers in Excel. Why is this significant? Well, you can use them to calculate results. So once we get to formulas, I will show you an example of this. But for example, let's say I have a project start date, and I could type in December 3rd, 2019, and then I want something to be done within 60 days. I could say, in a formula, December 3rd, 2019 plus 60, and it would automatically give me the date that would be. So you can use dates in manipulations and in formulas. And like I said, we'll get to that in another video. Okay, something else to notice is, let me type in, there are some special number formats. And what I just typed in was a 5-digit number followed by a 4-digit number. And what I can do is, there is this category called special here that I can come down and designate it as zip code +4, and it will automatically format it for me. So notice that there's also the zip code, phone number, and social security numbers, where it will automatically format those, any numbers you type in, with whatever formatting that goes with that type of number. So all you have to do is type in the number itself. So if I click OK, now it automatically formats the number for me. So it's something to keep in mind when you want to do one of those special formats. Now there is something called custom number format. I'm not going to get into it in this video because it gets into more advanced features. But it's where you can designate your very own number format, create it, save it, and then apply it in the future. Okay, now, all of this may seem pretty theoretical, so let's go to an example of how we might use some of this. I typed in this simple spreadsheet, and I have product 1, 2, and 3 running down the left-hand column, and I have the heading September, October, November running across the top, and then I have revenue numbers typed in. So, And then down at the bottom, I have these totals. And then I have the percentages of what each monthly revenue is of the grand total. Okay, so does that make sense? So I like it, but I'd like to format it a little bit better so that it's clear. Now, one thing to realize with formatting in Excel, the reason you want to use it is to make your spreadsheets as clear as possible so that whoever is reading them can just instinctively understand the points you're making and what the data represents. And that could be yourself in 6 months after you've forgotten what you typed in. It could be your bosses. It could be a client. Whoever it is, you want to make things as clear as possible, and formatting things appropriately is one way of doing that. Of course, typing in appropriate data is another. But for now, let's talk about how formatting can make that happen. So you can highlight the numbers in the months and apply dollar sign to them if you want to do that. Some people prefer not to have dollar signs in the data. Some people do. Now, since they're all round numbers without the cents, one of the things to notice here on the ribbon are these two buttons that either increase or decrease the decimal. So in this case, I want to decrease the decimal. So I'm going to click it once and then twice, and it's going to take it to round numbers. These are two buttons that I use quite a bit. Once I have my numbers typed in and I looked at them and I think, oh, I don't need that many decimals, or, I need more decimals. So keep these in mind as well. It's a quick and easy way to format your numbers without having to retype things in. That is just a waste of time. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with this. And then down here on the total line, again, I'm going to apply the formatting. And in this case, I'm going to keep, actually, I don't. I think those look dumb. All 0 zeros. So I'm going to get rid of the decimal places again. Okay. So my currency is done. But now I want to format these percentages because I have percentages calculated, but these numbers don't seem to make much sense. So I'm going to highlight these numbers, and then I'm going to apply the percentage sign to them, and notice that it automatically converts them to readable percentages. However, I think I need a little less round of a number. So in this case, I'm going to increase my decimal place by 1, 2. No, it's one too many. So I'm going to decrease it again so that I have a decimal, 1 decimal place in my percentages. And I think that will be a bit more informational to the people I'm going to give this spreadsheet to. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, I hope so. I hope we can use this in formatting your numbers and use them to make your data clearer. In the next video, I'm going to be starting to address how to format text in Excel with the same goal, to make your data clearer. And we will talk a lot about several different techniques that you can use, and then I will show you some more automated ways. So watch for those videos as well. Thank you very much, and you have a good day.